Yeah. Hi guys. I'm Jay. For those on Jana's team that don't know me, so tonight I'm going to be doing training, and I just wanted to basically just recap what I've learned at Gopro and just the catching up on that over the last few weeks. For those of you who don't know what GoPro is, it's Eric Foray. I think he's like definitely one of the top earners in the network marketing industry. And he's been in the industry for like 30 years now. So he has now started teaching other people the ins and outs and what not to do and what to do. So I actually have some really cool stuff here about his little story. I'm just going to find it. But I have so many notes. I was just on fire. It was the best thing I've ever been to. And I know next year our leaders are buying packs of discounted tickets. So I really suggest you guys jump on those as quick as possible because it will just boost your business so much more. And for those that don't know who Eric Worre is, I suggest that you learn and read his book or listen to or watch GoPro, webcast, like podcasts or anything. But everybody, I think, at this stage should have pretty much read GoPro. It just really breaks down the simplicity of the business. There you go. Jana's holding up a coffee. I actually don't know where my copy is. I think I might have read it online. I think I might have bought it in my iBooks. Anyway, so just a little bit about Eric that I thought was really cool. He had 18 different jobs before he was 21. Before he was 21, he done everything and nothing. Like, he hated everything. He was not, nothing really worked for him. He was like crap at school. He barely passed high school, but they were, really like pushing him to like get him across the line to get him past so they could get rid of him basically. They didn't want him there anymore. So he never had a chance of getting into a college at all. His grades definitely weren't good enough. So he ended up going to a community college, which is basically like TAFE. Most people can get into TAFE. You kind of pay and you're allowed to go, so it doesn't really matter. So that's what he done. And I think he started doing real estate with his parents. His dad owned real estate, and so he started doing that with them anyway, and didn't really like that either, but his dad got into some network marketing, so he jumped on board and just, went from there. So before he was 30 years old, he was making $1 million a year. So it took him a little bit. I think he said it took him about 5 years to really get started. He dabbled for quite a while and he just didn't get it. He just didn't understand how good it could be, I guess. And then it took someone to really have that faith in him and that belief in him. And it kind of just clicked a switch, he said. Someone just having that belief in him. They said, we need to watch this guy. He knows what it takes. He's going to make it big. And he heard them talking about him and something just clicked. And he said the fact that someone else had so much faith in him before he had it in himself just sparked something in him, and he knew that he could do it. And he just didn't dabble anymore. He, went all for it. I think that's a really cool thing that we've got in our culture, that we all believe in. Every one of our team is before they believe in themselves most of the time. I know definitely I had no idea what I was doing when I started, and Lauren was like, "You've got this, you can do it," and we just took it step by step as we all do. And obviously I got through all the bonuses, so all the promotions. So I think having that belief in everybody and really sharing that you believe in everyone is such a really good thing for some people. People have never had people believe in them ever. If you've never had a career or you've never had that supportive family, to have the community like this, people that believe in you, I know 100% how that is. So, I think just be aware of that, guys, and make sure your team know that you believe in them. I had notes, so I've actually written now. I've just gone on a tangent and I'm looking at all my other notes, but I have specific notes for tonight. Let me just have a look. Okay, the big really cool thing that I learned was that this is like a game. It's like getting online on a Nintendo game or like a Wii or something. This is a game. You need to learn how to play it. Once you learn how to play it, you can get every different stage. You can hit every stage. You can, get the princess at the end or whatever it is. But you can, so it's a game. So you need to learn how to play it. and keep it simple. Like we really, really, I think, have over like complicated things, and that's what I wanted to talk about tonight mostly is getting back to the simplicity of this business, because it is really, really simple. It's not easy because we need to really open up and we need to grow as people, but the business side of things is simple. We definitely overcomplicate it. So anyone has questions along the way, please drop them in, because otherwise it'll just be me rambling for like half an hour. But I had some notes here. First of all, I wanted to really touch on our DMOs. So Simon Chan, I know, put out a really good DMO. Is it 35553? And that is, I'll definitely get what that's called in a minute. But that's so basically your follow-ups and your conversations. Now, I found that when I first started looking into his trainings, that I was trying to do my 5 follow-ups and I didn't have 5 people to follow up with, which meant I wasn't having enough conversations. So if you don't have 5 people that you can follow up with every day, okay, it doesn't have to be 5. This is Simon Chan's DMO, and this is what I've been setting for myself lately. But you've got to set your own DMO so it's achievable for you. There's no point setting it way too high, above your achievement level, because then you're just going to make, you're going to feel like crap within yourself. You're not going to get it done, and it's probably going to make you feel worse and go backwards, because you're like, oh, I didn't do that, and you're going to start procrastinating and, pushing it to the side. So really making it, if you think you can only contact 2 people a day, put 2 people down a day. Don't go and put 5. As much as like 5 is going to really help your business, we still need to keep it realistic. And at the end of the day, as long as you're doing that motion or that task every single day, your business is going to grow and you're going to be moving forward. So it doesn't matter if you're doing 1 a day. It's still better than doing none, and it's still consistent and you're moving forward. So I think really getting your DMO down pat, and knowing what you want to do every day. And I think after a while, you're that much on a roll, you don't need to sit and go, oh, I didn't do those 2 conversations today. I didn't, because you've got so many to follow up. You've got this conversation over here and you've got that conversation over there. And 35553 is for everyone, Jay. Huh? Sorry, can you just say what you mean, Jones?
Just so everyone knows what it is. What's the 3, the 5, the 5, the 3?
I have the picture somewhere. I will. I just don't want to. If I try and find it while I'm talking, I'll just get distracted. I do have the picture though that I can share with you all. I think they're both. It's all been put in our team pages anyway. I'm pretty sure you've shared it as well, John. I've seen it. Yeah. So you're just getting really clear on your DMO and actually doing it. Actually being consistent, and make sure you're doing it every day. One of my DMOs is I've made sure I've been doing lately. I lost track of this for a while. You get a notification on your Facebook every day of whose birthdays it is. Just send a message. Like, it's so easy to go in and just write on everybody's wall, just happy birthday. Not only does it keep your algorithms fresh, so those people that might not have contacted you for a while or seen your post, you've gone now and contacted them and wrote on their wall, so they'll start seeing your stuff, and it goes vice versa. Not only that, but people feel pretty special that you've taken time out of your day to say happy birthday to them. I know when it's my birthday, I'm like, oh my God, those people say happy birthday to me. Half of them are probably like me and don't even really, they're probably just like, oh yeah, it's someone's birthday, just saying happy birthday. Probably didn't even put a lot of thought into it, but it still makes you feel special on that one day. And I think it's a really good way to build relationships again. It could be someone that you haven't seen a long time. You see it's their birthday, it's a great way to start a conversation. So I think just, little things like that I've added to my DMO, I think are really good. He does the 3 posts. So the 3 posts don't have to be on your personal page. That was the other thing I wanted to touch on. When we listened to him at, so the 3 posts, but the 3 posts don't have to be your Facebook. Okay. So they could be, if you got a business page, they can be your private, or they can be in groups. And that's the next thing I want to talk about, is the groups and keeping your market warm. I know a lot of people coming into this, a lot of new people always ask how do you find more people to talk to? You've got 200 friends, you might go through every single one and you've talked to them in like a week if you're really busy. You could do that. So the way that we try and keep our market warm is add people that that you don't really, you haven't thought of them for a long time. But so go to like your mum's Facebook, okay? go through all her friends. There'll be loads of people on there. You're like, oh yeah, I remember that person. Add them. You know that they're not like a virus or whatever. You know, go to your cousins, go to your best friend's page, go through their friends. You know, we need to be a bit vulnerable and open up our Facebook a bit more. I know some people like to keep it a bit private, but I mean, if you want to grow this business, you need to grow your network, and that's having more friends on Facebook. So that's one way you can do it. You know, go through that list. And Eric Worre actually got us to physically start writing a list. This is something I'd love everyone to do if they want to take it on board. It's a bit of a challenge, but it's an ongoing book. So get a book that you're going to keep pretty much forever. And you write down a list of everybody that you know. And every day you add to that list. Yeah, there's always more people that you know that you never thought you did. So once again, you go to your mum and you go to her family and you write it all down. And then you go like through their friends. When you think you don't have enough people, you know, you think that you've put down everybody that you know, go back and look at your dad. Go through his family, go through their friends. There's always, always, always more people that you know. You go to the shops and you start talking to the lady, you know, you've got your regulars at your little corner stores or whatever. Put them in your book. Keep this an active book throughout the period of your career. You will always have someone to talk to. So many people say, I've got no one to talk to. You know, my hot market's gone. Well, I don't have a hot market. We have to start cold messaging people. We do not need to do that. We have people that we know. You just don't even remember that you know these people. So that's just a kind of activity to get your brain into action and to remember all the people that you do know. So it's really cool, and you'll come up with thousands of people. So if you guys want to take that on board, I'd love everyone to be a part of that as well. We'll keep you busy, and you will realize you know a lot of people. You'll never be able to say again, I've got no one to talk to. And the thing with the groups as well, going in, like I said, you can post in groups as well. The thing, I think Jana touched on this the other night about how to find groups. So you go into like your discovery and you can type in how you find friends, you know, groups that have things in common. So for me, I'm a mum, and I have like a newborn, well, not a newborn, she's 8 months now, but that's been really, really good for me to add value in groups. You know, I can go in and ask questions. Or I can go in and answer people's questions. I can, when people answer my question, you know, I automatically add them as a friend. Some people like won't accept it, whatever. Once they start talking to me, I'm always like, thank you so much for your answer, you know, thanks for your help, blah, blah, blah. Always add them as a friend straight away. Doesn't have to do mums groups. So many people say, oh, but I don't have kids. That's fine. You like travel, go to other travel groups. Ask questions. Say you're going on a holiday. I want some tips. There are, so I know Marissa used to be into like not decorating, what is it, like doing house renos. So she was loads and loads of house reno groups, and she made so many new connections from it. It doesn't have to be about Juice Plus. Nothing about Juice Plus. You don't go in there and spam the groups with Juice Plus. You literally go in there and add value and you know, ask questions and make those actual connections with people. And I think that's what a lot of us miss. We're going trying to sell Juice Plus, or we're going there trying to think of ways that we can do that, but don't. You know, it's all about making those connections and having conversations with people, making friends. Like this is someone that was at GoPro said, you know, this is the best job in the world. We get paid to make friends. That's what we do. We make friends with people every single day. And that kind of struck a chord with me. I was like, that's pretty cool. It's so true. We get paid to make friends. So, you know, there's never, ever a reason for you to have a cold market or even a warm market. You know, you could be adding value to in so many different ways, not only your own page. So really take advantage of those groups. And I think building your belief in the network marketing business. So like I said, like go and read the GoPro. There are just, my belief in the industry is like second to none now after going to this event. It was absolutely amazing. And I don't know how to explain it anymore. Like there is no other way for me. This is the way. This is the best way. People are tired of working hard, technology not working, and they're tired of being tired. Don't take advantage of that, but you know, that's what we're here for, to help those people. People don't want to be tired. They don't want to have to be relying on technology all the time at work. You know, the technology is taking over. There's no such thing really as checkout chicks anymore. You've got one or two, and the rest is technology. So many people have been put out of jobs for that. We need to be reaching out to these people. Like, we need to be out and proud about what we do and actually sharing it with people. I think so many times we say, oh, we're stuck, we're not bringing on a new team, but are we really, really sharing it? Are we actually telling people about it? Are we asking them, do they want to look? Are we, actually having that conversation? I know I was in this rut for so long. I built and made a massive team, and then all of a sudden I just went nowhere. And I just stopped, and I didn't know what I was doing. I was like, my team aren't doing much. I didn't know what was happening. It's because I stopped having conversations. I just assumed everyone knew what I was doing. No one wants to hear from me anymore. And I definitely got stuck in that rut. So I suggest to everyone, let people know. They don't know what you're doing if you don't tell them. And the other thing, I kind of want to set a bit of a challenge for everybody, if everybody's up for it. I don't know whether you guys do this all the time anyway, but I know I haven't been doing it much. I want you to reach out to every single customer that you have and ask them, do they realize there's a business behind this? Adam put out some really good statistics about this the other day to me and Jana. I think, was that in our leaders group chat, Jans? And he said there were like roughly 4,000 customers that came into the Team Freestyle this month. However, there's only 300 new team. 300 to 400 new team. He's like, and his idea basically is that most of, or at least 3,000 of those customers wouldn't even know that this is an option for them. So I'd really, really love everyone to reach out to your customers, ask them, do they know there's a business behind this? It's a very, very simple question. Ask them, do they know there's a business? Would they be interested in seeing their product, for free? But they're only going to share it with one or two other people, and that's going to cover their own product. So a lot of people will probably be pretty happy with that, especially if they love the product. They don't want to come off it. It's a way for them to have their products for free to cover the cost of their product. So I have so many notes. I'm just trying to be mindful of not going on a tangent and taking you like everywhere. So we live in a world that needs us more than ever. And I find that is so true. People are so run down, they're so overworked, so underappreciated. There are just so many things that we can offer from this business, and I think we really underestimate that. I think we're sometimes a bit shy in sharing it, and we think that people are going to think bad of us. We actually have a solution to so many problems, but not just income. I know income's a massive part for us. Without the money, we wouldn't be able to live the life that we want to live. But there are so many other problems that we can solve from this business. Okay, so this is a really cool, just a few stats that I got from Gopro. On average, so on average in America, most people pay $65,000 to start a business. $65,000 to start a business. Not only then do they have to worry about insurances and, maybe if they, have to get employees, but they've got insurances, they've got overheads, they've got to worry about so much stuff. We pay $165 a year and we have nothing to worry about. Nothing. We just have the privilege of sharing it with people. That is it. Sharing the product, sharing the business. Like, it's just ridiculous. And 50% of those businesses, so these are, American stats. That's how Eric works, and that's where I've got all my information from. But 50% of small businesses fail in their first year. And to think that they have just pocketed, out of their pocket, 65 grand and they fail, I think we just have a gold mine in our hands. Like, it's $165. I spent that yesterday on a dress that I'll probably wear once. It's so cheap, so easy. He actually asked all the people in the room, who here before has started a business before us. There you go, Jana, $40,000. Yeah, and that's right, nothing to do with our ongoing costs. That's what you paid just to get started. We don't have that. What we pay for is our products, which we benefit from every day, like our health and our minds, everything. Yeah, so what if there was a way you could do this without all the risk? Basically, that's the way we're going to need to put it across to people. So many people want to have their own business. They want to have that small business. What if there was a way you could do this without all that risk? That's a very, very simple question that you can ask people. There is no better way. I believe that 100%. There is no better way. Why wouldn't I want to work from home and make unlimited amount of money? You know, the limit on that money is myself. I'm the only one that limits that amount of money I can earn. I remember once being at a conference, and I'm sure it was Celine that said to me, she said it out to everybody, but the thing she realized was doing network marketing or doing an MLM at the time was, the kids need a new pair of shoes next week. She just had to make sure she sold one more lot of products, and she was going to be guaranteed that she'd have that extra money there. When you're in a job, you work 40 hours a week, set hours, set pay. There's not much more you can do. The money's there, and that's it. Once it's gone, it's gone. In a business like this, you need a bit more extra money like next month. You really make sure you apply yourself a little bit more to get that extra money. There's not many other things you can do that. Yeah, we have everything done for us. That's right. We don't have to pay insurances. We don't have to pay for training. We have the most amazing training from leaders all around the world, like all around the world, some of the top earners in our company or in any company. We don't need to, we don't need to look at that training. We just have everything at our fingertips. It's so amazing. The company deals with the products. That's right. We don't deal with anything. There's a problem, the company deal with it. We don't get the backlash. Well, sometimes I guess the customer, we might get a bit of backlash, but at the end of the day, that goes back to the company to deal with as well. So yeah, we just need to remember we do three things. We sell a valuable product to consumers. We build an ever-expanding team of other people doing the same thing. We increase our network based on our leadership. They're the three things that's all we need to do. Compare that to the list of things you need to do in a traditional business. One, Jans, I could probably get you to, come off speaker. Tell me some of the things that you had to do just on a daily basis, with your business.
What I am doing on a daily basis, or what I had to?
No. Like when you're traditional business, when you have the restaurant.
Oh my God.
Daily?
So when I had my traditional business, I was also working full-time in the Navy. So I would be getting up super early in the morning. I'd be getting into my restaurant and letting in the chef or letting in the orders and getting him set up before I'd go to my 9 to 5. But then I'd be checking in to make sure my staff turned up when I wasn't there. Deliveries all showed up. I'd be making sure that the float was counted. Bills, I'd be going home each night to make sure all the bills are up to date, checking and signing off pay sheets and time sheets. What else? And then I'd be back there in the evening doing the night shift, the dinner run, and, counting the float at the end of the night, locking away, cleaning the kitchen. You always got to be ready in a restaurant that someone might walk in and do some mysterious walkthrough. But then you'd go home and you'd still be another 2 hours writing up that day's figures, the hours that went through with the staff. I felt like I probably had 2 hours of sleep each day while I had that restaurant for 3 years.
Yeah. Amazing. And now you get to spend your time. Obviously, we put in a lot of work, and I know Jana especially puts in a lot of work into her business because she wants to be successful, and she's dedicated. She's a great leader. So she puts in hours. I'm not denying that at all, but considering you can do it at home, you can do it around the kids. You've got 2 little kids. Jana takes them to school. She takes them to swimming lessons. She takes them to skateboarding. As she works us around that, not only then does that all happen, you've got that unlimited income, so then you can go on the cool holidays, you can do all that really cool stuff when you want, and you can still be running your business. I plan to go to Bali for a month and just live there, just do what I want. I'm going to do some volunteer work at orphanages and stuff while we're there, but I want to take my kids to make sure they're doing some volunteer work. But I can just be on the beach all day with the kids, just do what I want, and have my phone, when they're like going home to have a nap or lunch, I can still just be sending secret messages. Like, they don't even need to know I'm working. It's at night, when they're already in bed, that I do all these kind of calls. So there's no other business you can do that. Not at all. Like, we just need to really, really understand, I think, what what we have here and how amazing it can be, and take full advantage of it. Take advantage of it. I'm just starting to really get passionate about this again and really love it and learn. You know, I always was, but I just lost my bit of belief there for a little while. But that was more in myself than the business, I think. What else? Yeah, compare that to your list. Okay, the one catch, righto. So I've just said how amazing it all is. The one catch to doing this business is that uneducated people will think less of you because they have no idea what you're doing. They think it's a scam. They don't want to take the time to have a look. And they're happy to just go about their miserable lives, basically. They don't care. They don't want to know, like, they don't want to, like, better themselves. So that's the only catch. If you can deal with uneducated fools, basically, not understanding what you do, then who cares, really? I don't care. I don't know whether you guys do, but it never worried me. It took me a little while, I guess. At the start, I was just like, oh, what are my friends thinking of me? And then I was like, you know what? At the end of the day, when I'm busted ass broke and, like, don't have a house to live in, don't have, you know, a car for my kids to take my kids here, there, everywhere, they're not going to be here paying my rent. They're not going to buy me a car. You know, they love me. I'm sure some of my friends, these are not just the silly ones, like the good ones that say it as well. They love me, but they're not going to be able to pay my rent. They're not going to be able to do any of this stuff. So, yeah. Sorry, Johns, I'm rambling on a little bit.
No. I'm just reminding you what it is we're talking about tonight.
Yeah, I know. That's what I mean. I'm getting so sidetracked, but
okay.
Yeah. So I guess that the basics were like basically doing your DMO, making sure your DMO is done every day, and sorry, baby's awake. Keeping that warm market, making sure that you've always got people to talk to. There should never be a shortage of people to talk to, and like, yeah, now Johnny made me like worry about what I'm saying. And the basics, yeah, doing the events, that's part of your DMO though, right? Doing your events, doing at least one online event every week, attending at least, hopefully participating. You know, step up, put your hand up, say that you want to start doing a part of the event. You know, if Jana's looking for somebody to share a business story or a product story, put your hand up, be part of the event, be known. You know, let your team see you stepping up and doing those kind of things as well. It's the only way that you'll learn to do your own and to be that leader, is by stepping up and doing that stuff. So, yeah, making that part of your DMO, doing the events. Jans, do you want to add anything? Because I'm just totally lost track right now.
Nah, it's so good. I think it just, maybe we need to just break down a little bit about the posts, you know, and about you've gone through the contacts, invites, and maybe you just go through what they're inviting them to, and just maybe we just break down the 3-5-5-5-3, because that's you know for a lot of these people like Kylie, Tash, they're super new, and you know we want to. I think that's what you're all excited about. You've come back from GoPro, and so is Adam, and you guys are all saying let's go back to basics. But they don't know what those basics are. Like we're saying, yeah, just go back and do this. But
yeah, cool, good point. Okay, so I already explained about the posts, the 3 posts. You know, like I said, they don't have to be on your page. They can be in groups. They can be in anything. But so my rule of thumb is generally trying to do 1 post around product a day. So I don't like put on there and be like, here's Juice Plus, take Juice Plus. I share that I might be having chocolate shake for afternoon tea. I share that I've cooked like something, a recipe from the JBT for dinner, or like the other day, you know, I'd run out of berries and I hadn't been taking my berry capsule, so I started getting pimples. What else? My nails started breaking, which that actually hadn't happened yet. I said my I had really dry scalp. Yeah, I got a really dry scalp and my skin started breaking out. And then I was like, okay, so now I'm just waiting for my nails to start breaking. Yeah, not a sure thing, like they're all broken off. And so, you know, I just shared that. So people are like, oh, you know, why are you like, why is this happening now that you're not taking berries? You know, what's going on there? It just gives you an open invitation to talk to somebody about the product. So yeah, don't just kind of jam Juice Plus down their throat. Just share it in a subtle way so people want to know what you're doing. And And the other one is I generally share some benefit about the business. So like today, I actually didn't share this yet, but today I got to go and take half on a play date. Like, we're meant to go for this park play couple. I was there for 2.5 hours with another mum that I eventually started talking to about the business and the product. So for me to be able to do that, she's not at kindy today, so we could just go hang out. I still done loads of work today. I'm now in training, done lots of stuff around her, but the fact that I can go and have those special moments with her. So sharing stuff like that, or last week, I shared that I got my new car. Without that residual income, I wouldn't have been able to do that. Things like that. Once, and it's not bad to every now and again put out a post that you're looking to like, your team's growing, or you're really excited to, start growing a team. Would anybody, be interested in joining you? I think we're allowed to do those every now and again. I don't like to do them very often, but I think it's definitely good for people to know that you are looking, because once again, if they've been scared to come to you, you haven't actually made it to them to have that conversation yet, they can see that, okay, well, she actually is looking, and they might reach out to you as well. So it's always an option. My other third post, and I usually just post something normal, so something funny. It's nice to have something funny, like people just like want to see your post, or inspirational. I like to do inspirational posts first thing in the morning. I feel like, it helps people get motivated for the day, or something where they have to interact. So those stupid, sometimes like quizzes and just things like that are really, people have to comment, and for some reason they always do, and I always do. When I see it, I'm like, oh, I want to know what this person's doing. And so trying to get something that's interactive, asking questions. Like I said before, when I posted that I wanted to go to Bali, I just put it on there, I want to go to Bali, and you've got any tips. The amount of people that wrote back to me and tell me where to stay, where to go, things to see, where to eat. It's just all about that interaction. And then it also gives you an opportunity to have a conversation. You can reach out to them, say thank you so much for your message. And then they might also want to know, how the hell are you going to Bali for a month? Like, how can you do that? What about work? So it's good for you to, start that kind of stuff. Sorry, I'm just reading the messages here.
I'm just writing what you're saying. It's okay.
Yeah, no, but Kylie just messaged too, babe.
Oh.
Jay and Jana, do you work every day, or do you have one day a week that is no work day? Look, if I have stuff on that I'm like committed to, I'm busy, I will just like make sure I don't book any calls in. I still generally try to do a post, because it takes like 30 seconds. I try to make sure my posts are up to date. Sometimes I can get a bit stuck with that, but I don't have to work every day. I think Jana probably does. Jana's a bit more committed than me, but and you've got a bit more team happening at the moment. They're bringing on new team, right?
Yeah, I wouldn't say I'm committed. I would just say I'm obsessed. I love it. This isn't work for me, so I just love it. So it doesn't feel like work for me. Obviously I take my time out when I'm at the skate park. I only pick my phone up to take photos. When I'm at school doing school duty, again, I don't pick my phone up unless I'm taking a photo of Jacob and me doing stuff in class. There's plenty of times where I don't, but generally it's all if you're listening to people and you're posting, you're taking photos, it all can relate back to work, but I just don't consider it work.
Yeah, and I think that's like making sure always post. It's not really work. It's just making sure you keeping it that like people are still seeing you, what you're doing, and somehow like you're sharing your lifestyle. Basically, you're sharing your lifestyle, and that is what we do. That's how we network, right? That's our job, is to share how cool our life is now because of this business and our health. So we take the product, we share the product, and we recommend the product. So yeah, definitely doesn't feel like work. Sometimes when you've got like 1,000 calls booked in a day, it can, but if you've got stuff coming up, you just don't book anything in for that day. You're like, no, I'm out. So no, we definitely don't work every day. No. I try to keep on top and make sure I do something every day because I find just me personally, I lose a little bit of traction without it. So I like to do something every day to kind of just keep me going. Yeah, create FOMO. Is that meant to be FOMO, Johns? You want people to want what you've got. Yeah, you have to be. Peter said you have to be consistent, so you should try to do something every day. That's right. Yeah, and it's all about being consistent. And I think posting is about really being consistent and showing them what you're doing. Sharing that lifestyle is really really important. So what was it? That was the first three, was the sharing, and then the second three. No, then it goes under contacts. So yeah, go and make 5 new friends. So whether that be in a group where you've asked a question on that post and you've got some replies from that, you can go and add those people as friends, but try and get 5 new friends every day. Once again, back to that list, go into your mum's friends, add 5 people. Go to different friends' pages every day. Look through their look through friends of theirs that you know, add 5 people. It's actually not as hard as it seems. 5 invites, so that's where the conversations come in. This will take, sometimes if you're new, this is going to take a little while to build up. You can't just go in and go, oh, okay, it's my first day, I've done 3 posts, I've added 5 contacts, and now I've sent out 5 invites. If you're lucky, you might be able to do that. But this is all about that consistency. So over time, making sure you have the conversations, so then you've got people to send invites to. You know where they're at in life, you know what's happening, you know that they might be having a really crap time at work. So next week when event time rolls around, you can be like, hey, hon, I know we spoke last week, you're really, really upset with your job at the moment. I know you're looking at leaving. I just might have something that could help with that. Would you be interested in taking a look? It's really that simple, and having those contacts there and those conversations constantly going will eventually get you to be able to send out 5 minutes a day. Same with follow-ups. If you don't have 5 follow-ups to do every day, you're not having enough conversations, I think, in my opinion. And that's no Eric Worre phrase. That's just something that I think. If you set yourself 5 follow-ups, then you should be having at least 5 conversations every day, right? Which is, once again, the invites. So yeah, if you're doing the conversations, having those 5 conversations, then you should have 5 follow-ups the next day. And always end, I think it's really handy to always end a conversation with a question. Never leave it, always leave it open. Don't end a conversation as such. Always leave it open for them to come back to you with an answer for something. So then the conversation's always open. You might not reply because it might not really need a reply right then, but you've got something to come back to that you can, oh, well, so we talked about this, how's that going? Or, you kind of leave it open, if that makes sense. So you can always come back to those conversations and have something to talk about. And then 3, send 3 presentations. So the people that don't get on the live events, obviously that can be, if they said they're going to get on, they don't, which happens quite a bit. The next day, the next couple of days, you can reach out and just be like, hey, we on the event, we had so many people on. I don't know if you were on there or not. It was a great event. And, obviously then they're going to come back with an excuse or, whatever happened why they didn't get on. And then that leaves you open then to be able to send a presentation. So then you're like, we recorded it. Would you like me to send that on? Some people don't think that they're really interested, so they don't jump onto the event. But when you send the recording, they've got it there, then they might come back and have a look at that. So I think that's really worthwhile doing, always following that up. And just one thing on follow-ups, remember the follow-up is in the fortune. And that is so, so true. I thought I was following up with this lady really well. Sorry, I'm going to sneeze. Sorry. I just scared the baby away. I actually just had a recent, this thing happened to me recently where I thought I was following up this lady really, really well about the business. I think I was. And then I found out that she was actually taking the product from somebody else. And, she said no to me for I sent her a trial shakes and stuff. And I was like, oh, maybe I didn't follow up with her enough. Now, I did go and have a look. I did follow up, but really not with the product. I was more about, how'd you go at that event? Did you have a look? She just told me that her daughter didn't like the product, so I kind of just left it there. If I would have, spoke to her a bit more about the product and followed up a bit better with her, she would have been my customer. Instead, she actually, when I spoke to her about it, she didn't realise that it was even the same product. So I obviously didn't do a very good job, I don't think. in following that up. So yeah, just always be mindful of that, guys. And we're not being pests, we're following up because we said we're going to. So I think also making sure when you're reaching out to people and you send them those invites or those links, just say, you know, here, I'll send you this. We have time to watch this tonight or today, whenever you're going to send it. Yeah, you know, great. You know, we always ask before we send an event anyway, would you take the time to watch an event if I send it to you, to watch a recording? Make sure you're asking, guys. Then that leaves it open for them to say yes, and it leaves it open for you to follow up. So make sure when you're going back then, when you're sending the recording that you say, okay, I'll send it through now. I'll come back to you tomorrow, the next day, whenever you want to put it down, and just, and touch base with you again. So leaving that bit open so you don't feel like you're pestering them because you told them that you're going to check up on them. You told them that you're going to follow up. So, yeah, always doing that. Yeah, would you watch a link if I sent it through to you? Follow up, then adding them into the three-way. Yeah, that's right. After you follow up, instantly, as soon as they say they're interested, what I do is generally put them into a three-way with my leader. And then we take it from there. So it goes into a three-way conversation and we organise a time to have a chat. And then, then it goes from there. And that's how you let your leader help you with it. So they will show you then in the group chat what you should be saying, and you watch, what is it, Jana? You watch one, copy one, do one? Watch one, learn one.
No, yeah, watch one, copy one, do one. Yeah.
Yeah. So you get in the three-way with your upline and you see how they're replying, how they're setting up times to chat. We give them two options. You don't say, when's a good time for you. The best way to do it is say, I'm free this afternoon or sometime in the morning. Which one works best for you? Give them the option. Then if that doesn't work, they will hopefully say, that's not really a good time for me. Can we do it, this time?
I'm a bit different there, Jay. I ask them, so whoever's brought me the three-way, I'll say, is AM or PM best for you? They'll say AM or PM. I'll give them 3 PMs or 3 AMs, whatever they've decided on.
Okay, that's a good idea. Yeah.
Yep.
That's great. I've still just been doing the giving them two, like I'm free this time tonight or tomorrow. But yeah, I guess giving them that bit more option so they've got a choice, and I think they will pick one generally, do they?
Yeah, they normally come back with AM or PM, and then I will just give them the option of 3 PMs that I'm available for, and then That's it. Slot it in.
Yeah, awesome. That's a great idea, yeah. I just seen Peter said, bless you. I didn't know what it was for. It was for a big sneeze. Thank you. Yeah, so then getting them in the three-way, guys, and letting your leader teach you how to do that from there. That's basically, I think that's basically it, really, and letting your upline show you how to do the rest from there. And then obviously as you go and bring on your own team, you can go back to those messages and you can see what they've done, and that's the duplication. Watching what your leaders do and learn from that. So I'm gonna leave my bit there, John, because I've rambled, and I don't know if anyone's got any value out of this, but I feel like I had to get it all out.
What have I written? 5 pages.
Wow, really?
6 pages. And I've been writing notes on here. So I'm going to put them all into the comments once I load this into my team page. So I'll give them to you as well if you want to add them in there. But I've just given it in Word form as well as, voice form.
Was there anything else that you wanted to touch on that I'd forgotten, or?
No, I guess,
differently?
I guess, the only couple of things I maybe add is, when you are doing your posts, I mean, for a lot of mums, they're up breastfeeding in the middle of the night, but doesn't necessarily mean your friends are going to be up at midnight. So think about the times that you are posting.
Yeah.
The algorithms now, it's a little bit of a pain, but that's why what Jay suggested, you need to get in and love. That notification thing, I hadn't even thought about that. I get hundreds of notifications every day. I don't know if I could keep up with them all and love and comment on them all, but I'll give it a go. If you...
I think, Jans, can I just jump in there quickly with that? I think the love thing is, how you start a new conversation, you write that person in your grid. I should have touched on grids. You write that new person in your grid. I think go back once a week, go back to whoever you've started, add it into your grid, and go onto their page and just find something to like or love.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely.
Instead of trying to think of everyone and trying to like and love everyone's stuff, I've been doing that, just going, okay, or you can see all your new friends. You can go into somewhere on Facebook and see all the new friends that you've added recently. Go in and go on their page and find something to comment on, or find something to love or like, you know.
Yeah, for sure. So I guess the times when people, you know, to think when people are normally scrolling through Facebook, it's normally that, you know, a bit of time in the morning for the mums, you know, maybe just before the kids wake up or just after they've dropped them off from school. Then that lunchtime period when everyone's on their lunch break, or they're scrolling while they're eating their food, and then it's sort of later in the evening once they've put the kids to sleep. And then I guess when you're looking at pages, again, you know, a lot of pages, make sure you read the rules, okay, when you go on and doing anything in there, especially if you are doing any ads or anything. But again, think about the time you're popping it in there. But in saying that, a lot of the mums groups, they're up feeding all through the night. But just because of the algorithms, if it's, you know, you put it in at midnight and since then there's been another 30 odd posts over the top, no one's going to see it because of the algorithms. It's just going to be pushed down. So you just got to make sure you add really good value. I went in one today and it was just sharing Instagram pages. So I got an extra 120 people on my Instagram page today. Just from that. From my normal.
Wow, good job.
So yeah.
Also, I think we used to use Hootsuite and Buffer. Yeah. I don't think they work anymore, right?
Well, algorithms, they won't accept them. So again, they'll ignore them. They're
People
great.
Don't see what you're posting, guys, basically.
But you know what I use it for instead? I just use that. So if you've seen something that you've seen someone that's really good, you've seen a post, oh, I really like that. If it's mine or if it's Jay's and you've got it, look, you obviously create it and reword it, make it yours and put your branding on it or whatever. But then save it in there and put it out there for October or November. But then just go in and use it as a place where you've stored the photo, you've stored the text. Then you can just got somewhere where you can go and drag it out when you want to post it. I think it's quite good for that, just to have them there sitting ready to go. But I don't use it anymore at all. It used to be amazing, but now it's crap.
Yeah, it was really good when you could schedule posts a week in advance. But yeah, so I suggest not using those, guys. That's all. It's just too hard.
Yeah. And then you've got amazing tools too, guys. You know, me and Jay, you see us making all those flyers and stuff all the time. I love Canva. I love Photo Grid. I don't use it a great deal because we've got these amazing things created with us. Make sure you go forward with the ones that Kira has created when it comes to JBT. Don't go and put them into a grid because it takes away the value from the flyer that's already created. But don't go about rushing into branding yourself or making a whole lot of flyers and stuff. There's hundreds of thank yous out there. There's hundreds of business posts and whatever. Just put your words with it. Just make it all about you. Do you know what the most posts that are going to create interest in your page is about you? So a photo of you with your kids. Get you know, comfortable taking selfies. Get comfortable sharing your story, and then they'll remember your other posts. But they're only going to comment on the ones where they're really like interested in your journey, what you've done today or what you and the kids have done. But they'll remember your other posts, but they just won't comment on them, but they'll comment on the ones about you.
Yeah, definitely. Making it, you pay like anything, any post, making it as personal as possible always works because people can't deny you your story, right? So they might not believe in the product, they might not, but they can't deny your story. So your health story, you know, that you could have had a health issue and since taking the product, it's improved. They might not believe in the product, but that is your story. Like they can't say that didn't happen. Yeah. So, you know, I think making it as personal as possible and sharing your journey as much as possible is always the best way to go.
Yeah, definitely.
Be authentic.
Just like Jay. You're amazing. Thank you.
No worries. Anyone got any questions or I think we've answered them all as they've come along over here.
Have I got all the comments?
Okay, guys, I've rambled for like nearly an hour. I'm sorry. So we'll put it back to Jana next week. She can share.
Guys, rambling, babe. It was awesome.
Oh, that's good. Thank you.
Hey, when's your girl launching? I'm going to stop recording. Hang on.